Hey guys, Brett here, and today I'm taking a look at Social Lead Chief, which is a new Facebook marketing software that is designed to allow people to collect leads and spark engagement via timeline posts. Now, a lot of you are aware that I firmly believe that timeline marketing is the future of Facebook marketing, and because of this, I was really interested in this particular software, and I definitely wanted to take a look at it. Well, I just got review access to it last night, and I spent a couple hours last night testing it out. And let me show you some of the things that I found. So I've just logged into my members area, and the first thing I see is something that's actually, it's kind of minor, but it's also kind of silly. So you can see I'm logged into my account here. It says logged in as Rutecky B, and up top though, it has the login button. This should have changed to a log out button. I mean, it actually has a buy button too, which is really silly. Why are they asking me to buy it when I'm already logged into it? So that's a minor thing, but it did get me a little worried when I first saw this because I thought maybe there wasn't a lot of attention to detail because you would expect this login button to change to a log out button after you log in. So let me go ahead. I'm going to click down here. It says Access Social Lead Chief, and I'm going to access my software. All right, so now there's another button, and I have to click it again to access it. And then I have to log in again. And it says the Facebook account you are logged in is not associated with your members' login details. Please log in with your valid Facebook account. All right, well, that actually is the account that I logged in with last night. It's the only one I got. So let me try it again. Now I can connect using Facebook. Okay, now I got to log into Facebook. Hang on. All right, so now that I've logged back into Facebook, you can see that I'm able to get into the software itself. And incidentally, just before, you could see that it said that the account I was using, Brett Rutecky, was not the one that's associated with Social Lead Chief. And you can see right up here, I'm logged into Brett Rutecky and using Social Lead Chief. So that's a bug right there as well. It seems like the login is a little bit janked up. Maybe has a couple of problems. Okay, so let's look at the software itself. So I'm using the software. I've tested it out last night, and I want to show you some of the things that I've noticed. So the very first thing I'm going to do is click on Manage Survey, and I'm going to create a new survey. I was really interested in the survey app because it allows you to segment people based on the responses to the survey. And I thought that was really cool. So say if I'm doing some type of phone marketing, for example, I could do a survey and say, hey, do you like Android or do you like iPhone? And then I can segment people into two different lists based on if they say yes, they like Android or yes, they like iPhone. So that was really cool. And I could see that having a lot of potential. So I like the idea of the survey with the segments. So I am going to create a new survey. Let me click Add Survey. And it's going to give me a bunch of template choices that I can then use for my survey. There is no way to really customize these templates. They're just basically the way you get them is the way you use them. So I'm just going to pick this gray template here, and I will click Select Template. So now I can fill out my survey options. It's going to ask me for a survey title, a survey template. I've already picked that, the survey description, the image URL, and that's the second thing that I've noticed that I really don't like about this software. You can see there's no image uploader. This requires an image for the front of the post, and then people will click on the image to actually activate the survey. Well, there's no image uploader. You can't just upload your own image. You have to link to it from another website. What this means is if I want to have my own custom image, I can't. I can't just put it into the software, I should say. I have to put it somewhere else on some other kind of hosting and then get the URL to wherever else it's hosted and then paste the URL in here. And I mean, that's just really doesn't make any sense at all. It's really generic. I mean, why can't there be an image uploader here and let me upload my own image right to the software instead of making me go and host my image somewhere else? and then type in the URL here. It's just it's a shortcut that they used that's just cheap, and there's no reason for it. The second thing that I actually noticed about this particular page is the select autoresponder. Now you can go ahead and click on the drop down and you can see there are 4 autoresponder choices: Get Response, Send Reach, Aweber, and MailChimp. The problem is that there's no option for no autoresponder. You can see if I actually try to click next, you can see the autoresponder is required. But it only supports these 4 autoresponders. So what that means is, unless you are using one of these 4 autoresponders, you can't use this software at all. The software is useless to you. There's no option for no autoresponder. This doesn't save any type of CSV or text files with your opt-ins. It doesn't do anything. It's either you use one of these 4 autoresponders or you can't use this software, period. And again, that is incredibly generic. I mean, this should save a CSV or a text file that you could then download later and use with any other autoresponder you want, but it doesn't. And again, it's just a shortcut that they took that really there was no need for it. I mean, I don't know why they did it. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in this stuff anyway, though. I do have a MailChimp account, so I can continue to test it, fortunately. Give me a second. I'll fill this stuff in, and we will continue. Okay, so as I'm filling this in, I'm having a real hard time finding an image somewhere that's already hosted somewhere that's big enough for this, because it recommends 1200 by 630 pixels. And I'm having a real hard time finding an image that's large enough. So I'm just going to use the logo for my blog, but we'll see how that works. And another thing I've actually noticed is that you need to have a YouTube video inside of your survey. And I don't understand that very much. Like, why does my survey have to have a video? Maybe I don't want a video. But unfortunately, it's absolutely required. It will not let you continue unless you put in a YouTube video. So I'll also just go over to YouTube and find some video that I can paste in here just for testing. I don't want a video, but apparently I have to have one. All right, so I've got all the basic settings up, and now it's going to ask me to create my survey. And you can see that there are spaces here for 3 questions. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a question, just a generic one. What's my name? I'm going to say my name is Brett, or my name is Mike. Okay, now that's, of course, that makes no sense, but it is just a test anyway, so I'm just making up questions. Now, this is another thing that I've noticed about the survey aspect of this software. So let's just say I don't want to have 3 questions. I've noticed there's nowhere to add any more questions. You can't have more than 3. So I'm going to go ahead and click on submit. And you can actually see now it has all these fields are required. So not only can you not have more than 3 questions, but you absolutely have to have 3 questions. You can't ask 1 question. You can't ask 2. It absolutely must be 3 questions that you ask. Also, what you can see here is it has to have 4 answers for each of the 3 questions. I mean, there's no flexibility whatsoever in this. It must be 3 questions, and it must be 4 answers per question. I mean, that sucks. Maybe I don't want to ask 3 questions. Maybe I want to ask 4 questions. Maybe I only want 2 answers. Maybe I want 5 answers. There's no reason at all why there needs to be this type of unflexibility and static format. I just don't see any reason for it. So I'll just type in a bunch of dummy text now, just for the other ones, just so I can continue. All right, so now I've got my dummy text typed in. I'm going to click on submit to continue. And now it's going to ask me how I'm going to segment my list here. Now, I'm not even going to worry about this. I'm not going to worry about segmenting at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and click on submit. Okay, so there is my survey now, and I can now share it on Facebook, and that is actually how you embed it. You share it on Facebook. This doesn't use the Graph API to do the sharing. You just click on the share button, and then you can go ahead and share on it. And this is actually perfectly fine. It seems like it works pretty well. So let me go ahead and share it. I don't want to share it on my timeline. I want to share it on a page. And I'm going to share it on one of my testing pages here. And I'll click share link. Okay, so it has been shared. Let me go over to Facebook and take a look at it. All right, so here I am. I'm on my testing page, and I thought it was shared, but you can actually see it's not shared at all. So let me go back to Social Lead Chief and try it again. On the share button, I want to share on a page I manage, test page, and I'm going to share the link. I refresh. Yeah, it's still not sharing on my testing page. I am on test page. Let me try sharing it somewhere else, and we'll see how it works there. Alrighty, there we go. I got it to work on my timeline. I had a little problems getting it to work on my test page, but it is working on my timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and take my quiz now. So there's my questions there. One thing that I really noticed that is kind of bad, it's really bad actually, is you can see right here, because this is using the Facebook share, it's going to have a link to Social Lead Chief on it. Well, I don't particularly like that at all. I don't particularly like that I'm advertising, their company every single time I use their software. I don't like that. So let me go ahead and take the survey anyway. I'll just click next to all the questions. And then it says, enter your best email address below to receive updates. And, this also, I don't particularly like this email opt-in form. And unfortunately, there is absolutely no way to edit it. Like, let's just say if I was doing this for a client or I was doing this for an offline business, and I'm going to give people a coupon, some way of contacting them and saying, hey, I'm going to give you a discount for giving us a little feedback on how your visit was. Well, you can't do that because it doesn't make any sense. Now it says enter your best email address below to receive updates. When maybe I want the text to say enter your email address and we'll send you your coupon. But I can't do that. I can't edit the text at all. So there's no way to change that. And that is unfortunate. And, it kind of goes right back with the other stuff, though, with the way you have to have 3 questions and you have to have 4 answers to the question. There's not a lot of flexibility at all in this particular aspect of the software. So let me go ahead and I'll just enter my email address to see what happens. So enter my address, and then it's going to play my YouTube video. Well, it's not going to autoplay. It's just going to put it up there for people to look at it. And it's going to have a call to action button underneath, so that way they can click on it to redirect to my site. And again, personally, I wouldn't have wanted to have the YouTube video. I don't see any real reason to have a YouTube video. Like, it's just out of nowhere they decided to, we'll make it require a YouTube video and play a YouTube video. Why not just redirect them to the site wherever I want afterwards? That's silly. Again, if I was going to have a coupon or give people something for opting in, they now have to click the link here. And I could certainly create a video of me saying, hey, thanks for signing up, guys. Click below, to get your special bonus. But there's no need for that. There's no need to require that step. It should just have a redirect option and not require people to play a video. And again, it's just showing that it doesn't have a lot of flexibility. There's not a whole lot of options and ways to customize this particular software. And as I'm looking at this, I really can't stand that it has this Social Lead Chief link underneath. That's just horrible. Okay, so let me delete this. I'm going to take this off of my timeline. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to delete it from here. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to dashboard. I'm going to click on manage surveys and I will use the delete button from inside of the software. So I'm going to click on it and it says, do you want to delete this survey? And I will click yes. And let's refresh my fan page, let's refresh my timeline. And as you can see, the survey is still in there. Now, I'm not surprised that it didn't delete it from my timeline because it didn't post it to my timeline. It actually just used the generic Facebook share button instead of using the Graph API. So that means it really doesn't have the ability to delete it from my timeline. But something that I really find interesting is, and now I've deleted it from the system. You can see it's removed from the system. But if I click on the play button, it still plays. The survey is still here. It's not really deleted from the system. So I don't get that at all. That makes no sense. It doesn't seem like it actually deletes from the system, and it certainly doesn't delete from the timeline. So I don't really know what that delete button does. All it does is make it that you can't ever access it anymore because I don't see it in my dashboard. So now I'm going to check out the quiz section here. I like that. That seems pretty interesting. And one thing that is good about the quiz is that you don't have to have a set number of questions and answers. And I really like that as well. So let me go ahead and create a quiz real quick. I'll just pause the video while I create it because the process is essentially the same as creating a poll. One thing that I did notice, though, that is a real pain is once again I have to select my autoresponder and enter my API key again. Now, it would be really great if there was some kind of like settings area where I can just, select, say this is my autoresponder, this is my key, save that setting. But it doesn't do that. It requires me to enter my API key every single time I want to create any type of post, which is, I don't know, it's just a pain to me. I have to go back to MailChimp, find my key again, and it's kind of annoying. So let me go ahead and set this up, and we'll check this one out. All right, so this interface for creating a quiz is a little bit better. You can see I can add a question, and I can enter my question, anything I want. And I can also have as many answers as I want. Now, there's no limit to the number of questions. There's no preset number of questions. There's also no preset number of answers. So I'm definitely going to say that the quiz option is a lot more robust than the poll option. Unfortunately, the quiz option doesn't have the segmenting where you can't segment people to different lists based on their answers. So while it is more robust, it is also slightly more limited in the same way. So let me go ahead and save and preview. And I'm going to put it on my page, and I'm going to try and put this on one of my test pages again and see if I can get that to work. So I'll share on a page I manage. I'll put this on the old tab engine page, and it says posting as this page. I don't have an option to change that. Let me go ahead and share it to the page. All right, let's go over Facebook and take a look. So here we are. It did post successfully to the Tab Engine fan page. I can go ahead and click on the play button and start the survey. Now, something I want to point out is the reason why this graphic is so small is because I didn't use a graphic that was large enough. I didn't use a 1200 pixel wide graphic. And the reason I didn't use a 1200 pixel wide graphic is because I couldn't find one that was online anywhere. Because you can't upload a graphic, you have to hot link to one that's already online, and I really didn't want to FTP a graphic up there just for this test. So I was trying to find a graphic that was already online for testing, and there was none that I could find that was large enough. So I was just using my logo, which is too small, and it's making it be a small thumbnail instead of a big graphic. But if you do upload a big 1200 pixel wide graphic, then it will be a full graphic preview here of the graphic that you upload, which would be great because you can have a call to action or something to get people's attention, to get them to click this play button, because they have to click that play button in order to start the survey and start the process. But like I said, unfortunately, it's a real pain that you can't just upload it yourself. You have to put it on some other hosting and then hot link to it. All right, so let me click the play button and we will check out my quiz. So here we go. We got my quiz. I use this hearts preset, which is kind of cool. It's got a little Valentine's Day theme to it. So what is your favorite color? And I'm going to select red, and I will click next. Finish. And again, it says the same thing. Enter your best email address, below to receive updates. And, once again, this is not customizable. You cannot change this text in any way. So you can't say, sign up to get a coupon, sign up to get your free offer, or anything like that. That's all it'll ever say. So that stinks. So let me go ahead and type in my email address. And I will click the submit button. And it took me back to the contest again. It didn't, except for now it's not played. I can't click it or anything. Nothing works. Let me try this again. Now it'll play. Now it's playing my video. I don't know why that just happened. That was weird. But yeah, now we're back to playing the video and stuff. And, there's a redirect link underneath. So, this kind of works, I guess, a little bit. Again, it's not very flexible. And that's the main thing I notice about this is that it's not very flexible at all. You can't opt to not have a video. You can't opt to just redirect them. You can't change the text that's above the opt-in. You can't really do anything. It's just very static in the way it is. Now, one thing I do notice is that I don't see a link to their site when I share it on my fan page. I did see it when I was sharing on my timeline, but not on my fan page. So that's good. I like that. Let me click on this. I do notice that this is a link, though, the word test, which was the name of my quiz here. So let me click that and see what happens. Okay, and that takes me over to Social Lead Chief. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't say it anymore, but my link to my contest name is actually a link to their site. So that just sucks. I really don't want to advertise for them by using their service. Let me go back over to the members area. I'll go back to the dashboard. And another thing that I notice here is there's no way from inside of this software here to contact help at all. There's no way to get any type of support. There's no videos or anything here. What I actually have to do is click on the members area and go back to the members area. Then I can contact support if I need. Look at the help desk, watch the FAQ. And then if I want to go back, again, I have to access Social Lead Chief, go through the whole process of logging in again. And I've lost any type of work that I've already been doing. So if I'm in the middle of setting something up or I have a question or whatever, I can't just click on help and maybe a light box shows or a pop-up or something where I can ask my question. And here we are again, actually saying that my Facebook account is not associated with their system. And you guys could see I didn't change Facebook accounts. So this whole login process is a little wanky. Yeah, so what do I think of Social Lead Chief? I think that it's a great concept, but I think that it's not quite flexible enough, and I think it's not quite refined and tested enough. So I've talked to the creators of this, and they told me that they have updates planned, that they just released this for beta a week ago, and now they're launching it, and they've gotten feedback from the beta users, a lot of which is similar to what I've just said here in this video. But, I don't know, maybe it's just my thought, but, the way I think is you should release something for beta, test the heck out of it, tweak it, get it better, then release it again for beta, test it some more and tweak it and get it better. And then when it's finally an excellent piece of software, then you launch it. But that doesn't seem like the way they're doing this with this particular software. They just released it for beta a week ago, just started getting feedback, and already they're going full on public launch. And as you can see, it doesn't seem like it's ready for that. It's not flexible enough. It's got some weird stuff with it, with this login and stuff. And, it's just, it's not ready. It's a good concept, but the execution just isn't that good right now. And I hope they get it better because I like the idea. I just don't like the way this software currently is.